All right, my watch is saying 10 a.m. PST. So with that, I'm going to start on time. So first off, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I'll do a quick intro. My name is Keith Hawken. I am the head of sales and service at Top Producer. Been part of the real estate industry now for almost 23 years in different capacities. And I spent a lot of it at Top Producers. So really excited today to simple topic, how do we generate leads? And I think it's always good to get grounded back at, there isn't just one path. There is multiple ways for you to ultimately expand your real estate network. Like when you really think about this is about you expanding your network. Generating a lead is an activity. It's how you capture somebody, but that's not what our goal is. Our goal is obviously to expand our network and build our database and build our business. And to do that, you need to consistently add, a lot of new people to your database. So what we're going to do today is we're going to share some ways that you can do that. And there could be things that you're already doing today. There could be things that's like, oh, I've done that in the past. Maybe it's a good time to do it again. Or there could be things shared today that you're not doing. So the goal here is for this to be informative and for you to have some takeaways that you can go and apply your business, as you leave here. So that's what we're going to do today. A couple of things. This webinar is recorded. I always get asked, are these recorded? The answer is yes. And you will receive a copy of the recording after at the end today. So we will send out a follow-up to everybody and we'll go from there. So that being said, let's get started and let's talk about why. So why are we all here today? Well, one is, look, lead generation is a really, in my mind, a really critical component of a healthy business. Sometimes what we can do is we get focused on the people that are in front of us, those people that you're working with today. But sometimes what we do is we lose sight of, gosh, where's my buyer going to come from 6 months from now? Where's that next listing going to come from? Where's that buyer going to be? Who's that buyer a year from now? If you want to build a sustainable and scalable business that has, longevity, we have to be thinking that way about our business. And generating new people is really important. Sometimes we can get so focused on what's in front of us that we aren't doing that. We're not generating enough. We're not staying in touch with enough. And that actually can hurt you down the road. So one of the things that we want to make sure is that you have a healthy pipeline. And we're going to talk about ways you can do that. So the goal today, we're going to help you find the right mix of lead gen strategies that can work for you and your budget. I think regardless of your budget, there will be something in here for everybody. And then it's not just about generating them. You absolutely need to have a system and a process that helps you nurture those people to convert them. Generating a name and email address is, at that point, is just a name and email address and a phone number. You've got to convert those into opportunities. So we're going to talk about that as well today. Okay, so let's get started. Mention at the end, we're also going to send out the recording. You're also going to get a guide with a lot of this content. Also, we're going to include some scripts, templates, objection handling, how to get FSBOs, how to get expired. So you're going to get all of this at the end as well. So stay tuned on that. Okay, first one. Content. I'm going to assume that 100% of you joining me today all have a website. I'm going to assume that all of you have a social media profile at somewhere. Maybe your social media is TikTok, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Twitter. I'm going to assume that all of you here today have a website, you have a social media profile. The question becomes is, how do you take advantage of that? How do you drive people to your website, to your social? How can you educate people? And that's where content marketing is a really important thing, is having relevant content and posting frequently and making it compelling is a great way for you to increase the value of those platforms. Your website and your social is there to educate. It is there to position your brand in a way that helps someone understand real estate. So content marketing has in the past has been really difficult. And then this thing came out, earlier this year called Chat GPT, which made everyone amazing content marketers. Okay. And I mean, it is amazing that you can go into an AI enabled platform, give it some commands, and it writes you a complete blog post about something, right? You tell it, here's the topic, here's my location, here's what I want. And it writes you this content that you can now put on your blog. You can now share on social. And we actually wrote a guide on this, and I want everyone to click on it in the chat. There's a guide for ChatGPT for real estate. If you want to learn how to take advantage of ChatGPT for real estate, you can download that guide. But here's the goal here. One is, don't just write content for the sake of writing content. It needs to be compelling. It needs to offer value. I was working, I did a ChatGPT demo a little while ago. You could go into ChatGPT and say, write me a blog post about summer do-it-yourself projects for home, for my home in Texas. I'm just using that as an example. And it would literally write out a series of do-it-yourself projects that you should do in the summer. That is valuable content. But if you post it on your website and post it on your social, also think about if someone was to go search for summer do-it-yourself, projects in the summer, you could show up in the search engines, right? So there's value in content across, multiple ways that are ultimately going to drive people to you. And so you should think about that. It is easy. Use ChatGPT. If none of you use ChatGPT, definitely download the guide. Also, think about creating things into videos. Videos are a great way to create short content. I mean, the biggest fab right now is 30-second videos, and even less. Could you record yourself talking about something in 30 seconds on your phone? You all have smartphones. Use that content and post it on your social, post it on your website, post it across Facebook. Make it part of your marketing strategy. And by the way, all these things are free. The only commitment here is time. And I would say with all these tools today, the time is pretty, you could do something in 15 minutes a day, right? So content marketing, think about share your knowledge. Okay. And drive people to you. And the way you do that, use videos, use blogs, use your website, use social, all those things. So that's first one, content marketing. This is free. The only thing you're doing is time. Let's get into circle prospecting. I think that this is something that every agent should do. And it's interesting, as we were creating the content for this webinar today, it dawned on me that no one is doing this in my market. I live in a really fantastic neighborhood, great neighborhood. It's very desirable. There's 3 homes that went up for sale in my neighborhood in the last 30 days. I have not, outside of the house, the for sale sign in the front yard, I would have not known that there was listings in my area. And listings are such an opportunity for you to prospect in around those areas. So if you have a listing or a sold, you can use those to draw in new people. And you can do that by door knocking. You could do that by picking up the phone and calling them. Like, none of the agents that have these listings in my neighborhood have knocked on my door and say, hey, I just listed the house 3 houses down from you, want to introduce myself, et cetera, et cetera. No one is doing that. And it's a missed opportunity, because you can use this product that you have, a sold property, a listing, to draw in more people and use it to expand your network. So one is, think about how you're targeting those people in around your listings, your recently solds, and don't go big. Go Go small, stay focused. Don't, target the whole city, target the immediate neighborhood with circle prospecting. So what does that look like? Use an active or sold listing. It's social proof that you are doing business in that neighborhood. Don't make your circle too big. The further you are from the activity, the less relevant the activity is. Pick up the phone, door knock. It's an easy conversation starter because everyone wants to know what's going on in their neighborhood. I joke around often on these webinars about my wife. We moved in this neighborhood 2 years ago. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. My wife still wants to know what's going on. How much did that house get listed for? How much did it sell for? Right? Yeah, I think Lucy is a good point. It should be more door knock, right? Versus pick up the phone. You can get the phone numbers though. We can talk about that as well through public records. And then one other thing, Top Producer also offers through our Social Connect platform, which we'll talk a little bit more later, where we can actually advertise listings and solds in around an area to help you get affordable online leads. So we'll talk more about that. But think about circle prospecting. How are you leveraging your listing and your solds to drive opportunity for yourself? Take advantage of that social proof. FSBOs and expireds. I think this is a gold mine if you have the right approach and you're willing to put in the work. I think there's such an opportunity here, and there's a couple of pieces of data here that I think are really important that speak to this. One is expireds are willing to work with an agent, while FSBOs really do find out how complex selling a home is. In terms of FSBOs, I don't know if you guys saw this stat from the NAR. It actually was shocking to me. Is for sale by owner homes typically sell for $225,000 last year, compared to $345,000 for agent assisted homes. That's 35% more, right? That's 35% more. So listings that were agent assisted sold for 35% more on average. This is the data out of the NAR profile of home buyers and sellers. I almost fell over, right? Why would somebody want to do this on their own and get less for their home? It's more work. You're not going to be able to get maximize the opportunity, right? You're not going to get the exposure. You're not going to get all these things that are needed for you to maximize the value of your home. And then you have to work harder. So it's like, why would I want to work harder and get less? I don't know about you guys. I don't want to work harder and get less. So going after for sale by owners and really having a compelling value proposition, I kind of just created one for you, right? Right? Here's what the data says. Right? Here's what I can do for you. Here's why I can help you sell your home faster and for more money. You need to have those answers. In terms of expireds, I think expireds are always an opportunity, I think understanding why, obviously price is going to be a factor with an expired. It could be the home itself, the product could be a challenge, right? Could be positioned to the wrong audience. So understanding why a home didn't sell and then being able to go in with like how you would do things differently, I think that opens a door for expireds. There's a lot of low hanging fruit in going after these for sale by owners and these expireds, but it comes down to you having a unique approach in doing your research. You can't just go with the same approach from 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street and then go to 1, 2, 3, 5 Main Street and use the same approach, because they could be two different situations, two unique properties, two reasons why they didn't sell that are not the same. So tailor your approach accordingly. And then I think the biggest one, you have to be prepared for objections. You're going to face a lot of no's in this going after expireds and FSBOs, but you need to be prepared. So I really think going in with here's why I am different, or here's what you would do differently, I think that's the right approach. And it shouldn't be about how you're better than the next person. It should be here's why I'm the right person to help you and really showcase that value. There's a lot of tools and systems out there that can give you lists of FSBOs, that can get you lists of expired listings. I mean, there's lots of tools out there. They're not that expensive. You probably have access to some of this already in your local market. Definitely put this as part of your approach though. And again, this number of 225,000 compared to 345,000, I mean, it's just mind blowing for me. What a crazy stat. When we think about farming, this is a lost art in my mind. When I mentioned to you guys earlier, I've been around the industry for 23 years. Back in the day, farming was huge part of an agent's marketing strategy. And offline marketing was a huge part of an agent's marketing strategy. And it's not there anymore. And I just used a really perfect example. There's 3 homes that just went on the market in my neighborhood. I know nothing about them. I've seen nothing in my mailbox. I've not seen a flyer on my doorstep. The listing agent hasn't come and knocked on my door and introduced themselves. It is outside of a yard sign going up. I've seen nothing that has been targeted to me telling me about those properties for sale. I like 0. I think that's a missed opportunity for whoever's listing those homes. Because there's a good chance that I might know somebody that would absolutely love to move into this neighborhood. There's a really good chance that I might know somebody, right? So, there's an opportunity here. So when I think about farming, it's a numbers game, right? Not everyone's ready to sell. Not everyone knows somebody. And that's where taking, all the data that we have out there and using AI is such an opportunity to maximize farming. So I think there's 2 things. One is we have a product called Smart Targeting. And what Smart Targeting does is really allows you to target the top 20% of homeowners that are likely to transact in the next 12 months using predictive data and predictive analytics. Using things like equity, time in home, there's 26 different variables we use. We can predict who the top 20% of any neighborhood are that are likely to transact in the next 12 months, right? So that could take, if you target 100 homes and you did an offline marketing, you might get a 5% conversion rate of, hey, in your you have a certain neighborhood, there's 100 homes, 5 sell, right? What if you could only target, 20 homes to find those 5 versus having to target 100? That's really what we're able to do. And then also use a multi-channel marketing approach, right? Mix up postcards, letters, online, to really target and dominate certain neighborhoods. I think farming just is such an opportunity right now because it feels to me like no one's doing it right now. And in some markets, best way to get in front of those homeowners is actually offline, not online. So definitely think about introducing farming. We have an awesome solution called Smart Targeting that can actually really help you do all of this and target the right people. So definitely something to think about. Cold calling. Cold calling. So this is really an activity that can support some of the other initiatives that we have there, right? I know of agents who have absolutely built their business on the concept of dialing, and they get lists of FSBOs, they get lists of expireds. These people don't know who you are. If you're going after FSBO expireds, you're cold calling, right? I think there's a couple of things here is you really do need to understand the regulations in your area. Do not get yourself in trouble There's do not call lists, there's time restrictions, there's caller ID requirements, there's registration requirements, that you need to be a legitimate business. Okay. Use social media. I think, it's not just about the activity of picking up the phone. Use social media to reach out to people, right? We're always connected to people. It's interesting. You log into Facebook, it always says, hey, do you know this person? You have 3 connections, right? There's always opportunities there. But I think when you're looking at cold calling, it really fits into the FSBO expired strategy, because you're calling people that don't know you. You're calling them out of the blue. You're reaching out to them cold. They haven't raised their hand and said, I'm doing this. I think the biggest thing for me to you is just make sure you're not breaking any rules, because you need to protect yourself. There's a lot of, the FCC is really targeting this. And there is a way to do it right, the right way. Just make sure you understand all that. Okay. Door knocking. I'm just curious. I'm going to pause for a minute here and I'm going to run a poll here. I'm just curious. I'm going to launch this. I'm curious. I want to know. Wow. I'm shocked by the results here. All right, I'm going to let it go for 10 more seconds here. All right, I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share the results. 74% of you do not door knock. I'm shocked by that. I would have guessed 50%. So the good news is, there's a great opportunity here for 74% of you. Not safe anymore. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Daryl just posted in the chat. I got a $2.2 million listing a few weeks ago from door knocking. That's incredible, Daryl. I really think, and it's interesting. Come back to my own story a little bit of these listings, right? No one's knocked on my door, right? And I think there's such an opportunity here. I know there's this, I know this is not a, hey, every area is the same. Someone said it's not safe, stopped it since COVID. Look, you have to be comfortable doing this and you have to, again, I know this is not 100% of you are going to do this. Okay. I understand that. I do think though, that this is such an opportunity to knock on someone's door and say hi. And I think if you have that approach of going in with the idea of, I'm just going to go say hi to some people, you're not trying to sell them a home. You're not trying to help them buy. You're not trying to convince someone to sell. Okay. Right. But go in with the idea of saying hi or sharing something of value, like I hate to say it, someone said, hey, do door hangers. Absolutely. I think there's an opportunity here that putting your boots on the ground and walking to your neighborhoods that are great, that you're trying to target. It's a way for you to stand out. Jeff just posted in the chat. He says many less people go door to door, which makes it way more effective. Jeff, I mean, I agree with you. I see that right now, and I think this is such a massive opportunity. It's the summertime right now across the country. No better time to go and dress up, grab some valuable content, something of value. Maybe it's a neighborhood market report. Go knock on some doors, leave some door hangers, whatever you feel comfortable with. But this comes back to like my farming strategy. Okay. And you need to go, there's different ways to target a neighborhood, right? You can do it with just where you don't boots on the ground, you just direct mail and doing online, or you can go and walk it too, right? One of the things I shared with you, we have this product called Smart Targeting. The agents that absolutely crush it with smart targeting, our customers that absolutely crush it with this product, is they do the direct mail that we do for them. We do it all for them. They do the online, but do you know what they also do? When we give them that list of potential home sellers, do you know what they're also doing? They're going to knock on their door and introduce themselves. You know, they're not just going to rely on direct mail and online. They're going to go. So yeah, there's such a great opportunity there. So a couple of things around, I love this topic because all you guys are sharing your thing. Someone said, yeah, there's lots of good stuff here. Lots of good stuff. Okay. So one is, do your research. You know, if you're going to go to a neighborhood, research the neighborhood and understand exactly what's going on. How long are houses selling for? Are prices up, down? What's inventory looking like? These are just some real basic stuff. A lot of your top producer users, right? Offer to set up people on MLS market reports through the Top Producer Pro platform, right? A lot of your top producer customers, get those people set up a market snapshot. It's a great way to educate people on what's going on in our product or in their neighborhood, sorry. Bring some marketing materials, business cards, brochures, flyers, door hangers, you know, whatever it is, bring something that is of value to that person or that homeowner or that resident, because sometimes they're renters, right? But I think there's a huge opportunity here. Look, 75% of you are not doing this today. Feels like there's an opportunity there. So something to consider. And I love the success story of a $2.2 million listing. I would love to know where that $2.2 million listing came from. Also, we do have some scripts here. These are going to be in the guide that you can download, that you'll get at the end of this. So we're going to send it out with a recording. There is some scripts here. Again, my biggest thing when you are approaching people and door knocking and doing any of this stuff, make sure you're offering value. This is not a, hey, I'm Keith, I want to help you sell your home. Okay. That's the end goal, but you cannot just jump from the start line to the finish line. There's a process. And you need to build trust and credibility and rapport with these people. You can't just walk in with the, hey, I want to help you sell your home. That's the end goal, obviously. I want to help you buy a home, sell your home, but you got to get there. And the way you do that is offer value and share your knowledge and your expertise. So don't just ask for the appointment or contact info, offer something in return. Make it your own. Scripts are a great starting point. You know, rehearse. You know, if 75% of you aren't doing door knocking, I don't want to see all of a sudden 25% of you go and door knock and you're not prepared, right? What are you going to say? What are you going to offer? You know, rehearse, get yourself prepared, make it your own. Here's a simple just script of what you could do. Hey there, this is Keith with, you know, Top Producer Realty. I just sold your neighbor's house down the street, which is great news. There was so much interest in the property that we still have some buyers looking to purchase your neighborhood. They're really motivated. So I just want to see if you'd be interested in selling or know anyone looking to make a move. Simple script, a lot of value, talks about how great the neighborhood is. And it's a curiosity. You could even change that end piece of, you know, here's some market information around the neighborhood of other listings and other solds and stuff like that. So again, make it your own. And then the last one I think is when we look at online, look, there's portals, there's all sorts of places that you can get leads online. I am a huge believer in social media marketing. And the reason for that, I feel like you can get a lot of value for your money. And what I mean for that is, you know, you can get more leads for your dollars from there. And if our goal is to build up our pipeline, I think that's what we need to do, right? I think you also cannot just put all your eggs in one basket. So one of the things that I want you to think about from today is you shouldn't do one or two of these things. Should be more like three. You really do need to have a diversified strategy to lead generate. It should not just be all my eggs are in this one basket, because if that one basket does not hatch any eggs, we're going to be scrambling. Okay. And I think it's really important that you diversify your lead generation strategy where you have a good mix of online, offline, and door knocking, expired, FSBOs, things like that. So getting leads from social media is a great way. It's also one of the quickest ways to get leads. So if you're like, I need a bunch of people to talk to right now, social media is a great way to do that. One is if you're going to go do this on your own, which you can, okay, you can do this on your own. Make sure you have goals in mind, right? And what I mean by that is don't just go to Facebook, create an ad, put in a dollar amount and let it run. You're going to lose money doing that, or you're going to spend a lot of money and get nothing for it. If your goal is to capture leads, use Facebook's native lead capture. Don't drive people to your website. That's a perfect example of that. Target your audience, right? Make sure you know who you're trying to capture. Who are they? What age demographic are they? Right? Where do they live? Right? What are they interested in? Have they shown intent? Right? Make sure you know who you're going after. And then make sure you have a lead magnet. Offer something of value to attract and capture prospects. I mentioned earlier, listings are a big one, right? People are interested in properties. They're interested in listings and solds. They're also interested in, you know, guides. So something to consider. And that's where, you know, you can do this on your own. Okay. But what we learned is our customers at Top Producer, they want this, but they don't want to do it. they want to hire someone to do it for them. And so one of the things we did is we actually launched a brand new product 2 months ago called Social Connect, where we can actually do all of this for you. So we do, you know, I mentioned we have smart targeting already, which helps you with farming. And I highly recommend, if you want to get into farming, that you reach out to our team and learn what that looks like for your market. We can actually share data with you on certain zip codes of what we predict, how many homes are going to sell. So there's a huge opportunity there. But in terms of social media, we launched a product called Social Connect, and the product has been absolutely performing at a high end, where we actually run social media campaigns on behalf of our customers with the sole goal of driving a lot of leads. And I can tell you the biggest comment we've gotten so far is, cannot believe how many leads I have. Okay. And that's what happens that's the difference from doing it yourself or hiring someone that is experts in this field. Okay. And we do it on behalf of our customers, where you basically just choose your cities, right? We run, if you have listings, we'll run listing ads. If you have solds, we'll run sold ads, things like that. They're all optimized so that you get the best results. So our customers, this is examples of some ads that we run on behalf of our customers. The goal with these is to get you as many leads as possible through social media and build your database. And we have gotten nothing but great feedback from our customers who have done this. And it's been awesome. So if you want a hands-off approach, this is a hands-off approach. Now, mention at the beginning that you can't just generate leads, right? You got to have a process. And if you go down this path that we just discussed today, and you don't have systems and processes in place, you're not going to maximize your return on investment. Okay. And a perfect example of that, I think someone commented in here. Gerald said, Mark Snapshot's been great for me in so many ways. First off, Gerald, thanks for sharing that. I agree with you, but the one thing Marketing Snapshot does and why it's so great is it nurtures people. It's part of a sequence of how do we convert people into opportunities. So couple of things that you need to think about when you're going down this path of generating online leads, online leads and offline leads. One is, when it comes to online, you got to beat other agents by being fast. You got to be fast. It is not okay to get an inquiry on your listing online and you don't respond to that person in a timely manner, right? NAR stat, by the way, 73% of buyers interviewed only one agent. 82% of sellers contacted only one agent. One agent. Make that one agent you. You've got to nurture consistently with consistency. Go beyond the first day, the first week, right? You need to have a plan for probably 3 months to really nurture somebody. So, and here's the data behind that. Buyers typically search for 10 weeks. They looked at a median of 5 homes. Most searched online, it was 96%. I mean, we all know online is where it is. And then the last one, diversify your communication methods. A combo of text, email, and calls actually increase your connection rate, which increases the amount of conversations you're having. You know, someone asked, you know, are they good leads? The question really is if you have a conversation with somebody about real estate, that's the most important thing. Is you generate 100 people, how many people are you talking to? And that's where you need to have a good process and a plan in place. And I can tell you SMS is, the performance of SMS is just outstanding. And it's something that we'll talk about in a minute here. And the reason for that, 9 out of 10 people prefer texting. 98% of text messages that's the open rate. Think about your own life. How many text messages have you received that you have not read? I can tell you right now, if I looked at my phone and looked at my messages, I would have 0. Or I'm sorry, I think I have one that came in while I was presenting today. All right. So it's an area that Top Producer focuses on. So for all of you that use Top Producer or don't, we actually have a multi-channel automated lead nurture campaign built into Top Producer. And it's also why Social Connect, our social lead product, works so well. Is every lead that comes in to our platform gets a text message, it gets a market snapshot report on local market data, it gets automated emails, it gets a follow-up call scheduled. And the other thing that it does is it will consistently nurture and communicate with that lead on your behalf until that lead responds. So imagine, you know, you get a lead from social media, an automated text goes out on your behalf, the consumer doesn't respond. It's a real life thing that happens, right? The next day it'll be like, hey, Kim, just following up, I haven't heard from you. Wondering if you know, if I can answer any questions for you about this listing. It'll keep doing that until someone responds. I won't share with you the data, but the percentage of our leads from social media that come through that get responded to by the consumer is it's impressive. I'm impressed, and it's really, gonna be honest with you, it's really a derivative of having a plan and a system. So yeah, so somebody asked what happens when they reply. Campaign stops on its own. So the minute the consumer replies, the automation stops so that you we don't want things to keep going out and on its own. So The other thing too, when you think about nurturing, just make sure you're sharing content that's valuable. You know, those emails, calls, and texts are all about creating connection. Make sure you're sending out content as well. Market Snapshot is a great tool. A lot of you guys mentioned you're using it. It's a big part of what you do. That's valuable content. It answers consumers' needs. So very, very important there. And then really the last one, right, is for those of you that are considering it. I know someone said, like, oh, I didn't know you guys were doing social media lead gen. It has been a great thing. We really wanted to become kind of that one platform that does it all for you. And you know, the great thing is now is you have a single place to track all of this. You can bring in all your leads into one place. You can have all of your lead nurture and follow up happen in one place. You have a record of everything that's going on. You can see the performance of your social media campaigns that we run on your behalf. And it's all in one place. There's a huge benefit to that. So it is one platform that connects it all. I get to do, you know, so some of you asked, like, how does this work for social? We really just, it's really as simple as this. People are scrolling on social media. We run ads on your behalf. They fill out a form. You capture them into your CRM. Follow-up is happening within seconds. And then we nurture them with a combination of text, emails, and market reports until that lead is engaged. So that's how this system works. And by the way, the lead nurture can work with all of your online leads. I saw someone mention, hey, can I have my Zillow leads go in there? Yes, your Zillow leads can come in automatically, and the lead nurture campaign that we have set up would actually trigger and start nurturing that lead on automatically without you having to do anything. All right, this has been great. We went right to 10:40, which is awesome timing. First off, I want to thank all of you for taking 40 minutes out of your day to join us and join me and also us. There's always fun to just jump on and share ideas and strategies, and you know, my goal here is for you to take something away that you can think about applying in your business that's ultimately going to help you be more successful. And you know, there's so many ways for you to build your real estate network. You know, there's online, there's offline, there's, you know, walking around neighborhoods and knocking on doors. You know, there's not one approach here. I think that you need to have a diversified approach. I don't think you can go one way without the other. But hey, if you're one of the things I will leave you with, there is a huge promo that I am running. So this is my special promo to all of you. If you have a promo code, use promo code SUMMER, give my team a call at this phone number. Give them the market that you're in. Give them the market you're in. They can review different options for you of what we can do to help you. And actually that works for both. Yeah, give them your markets. They can give you some different options available. We actually do everything for you. So we will actually launch everything on your behalf, get the ads running, get the leads running, get the nurture running all for you. And you can actually start getting leads in the next, you know, week or so. And if you use the promo code SUMMER, we're offering is we're gonna give you a month free of leads. Full month free. That is gonna be 25. The estimation of that free month of leads is 25 or more leads for free. We're also going to give you our concierge onboarding, where our customer success team does all the heavy lifting for you to get the system up and running, get your ads up and running, get your lead nurture all set up, if you want to bring in your other lead sources, bring in your contacts into Top Producer. They will do one-on-one coaching sessions with you. That is normally $300 to get that service. It is free today. So free leads, 25 or more leads, plus free concierge service. It's total savings of $550. It is a absolute great way for you to get started. and take advantage of the opportunity that we have here at Top Producer. So reach out to our team, give them the promo code summer to say you're on Keith's webinar, and they will help put together a package for you that meets your goals. Other than that, I really want to say thank you to everyone for spending this time. I mean, we had ended up with 140 people here. You all stayed, which is amazing. And happy selling, right? Get out there, go knock on some doors, and say hi to people. No, thank you. Really appreciate it. And I'm just going to run a poll here as well. I forgot to. Thanks, Grace. Oh, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. I'm glad. That's the most important here. Yeah, I know someone's asking about the cost. The best thing to do is reach out to the team, and they can kind of review options of it for you. Because the cost can vary based on your business goals. Spanish, don't know. Not sure if I have a Spanish speaking team member right now. I'll follow up. I'll grab I have your info and the registration. I'll have someone follow up. The services? No. I don't believe so. I'll follow up on that though. This, does this take place with CRM? Yes, this is a CRM plus lead generation. Michael, yes, the recording will be sent out along with our guide that includes additional things like scripts, objection handling, things like that.